Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep It a C Note podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. To the left of me, we got
Your boy John.
And to the left of John, we got
Vito Samuels.
Okay, Vito Samuels. Shout out to that. Everybody is dapper. Dan, we got the Eagles hat on. We got the San Fran gear on, and the call them Oouuber gear. Until further notice, Until further notice, I'm going to fall back off the Rams gear. I might be mushing them paws, so I'm going to fall back. Everybody that's on YouTube, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're a regular, salute to you. Make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment. This your first time on the page. Salute to you as well. Please hit the sub button, hit the like button. Also hit the button so you can get notifications. You can help us call Ubers for Vito, things of that nature. And you can talk your talk. But we had a lot going on, especially in the city of Philadelphia on 10/6, on October 6th, I believe it was. Mayor McKinney, he apologized for experiments that they were running on black inmates from the 50s to the 70s in Holmesburg. You know, the experiments they was running on people left some people scarred and stuff of that nature. So I just want to know, what's your thoughts on it? Did y'all hear anything about it? Keep it a C note.
Well, I personally think that they should find each and every person that's still living, give them some type of reparations for experimenting on them, because it's not the first time, and I don't believe it's going to be the last time.
Right. What's your thoughts on it, John? By the way, it was a UPenn researcher. His name was Dr. Albert Kligman.
I was going to say that. Yep, he was a UPenn researcher. But me, I would say, fuck it. Like, fuck that apology. You can shove it. I don't give a fuck about that shit. If you're not giving reparations to the family, what the fuck is the apology going to do? I mean, that don't mean nothing.
Now they're saying though in 2000, several of the inmates they moved to have like a lawsuit, and it was thrown out, basically statute of limitation. So I guess the people that's representing these people, whether it's family members and stuff like that, they like, all right, since they couldn't get no money or nothing, and we know it was done, we just want an apology.
See, and this ain't the first, and this ain't going to be the last either. And there's going to be a bunch of other places that are going to come to find out that they were doing some crazy-ass experiments on. I mean, it's not new. They had the Tuskegee experiments. I mean, this is just some shit that actually came to light, so...
Right.
But the worst part that I seen, the fact that they said after they experimented on these guys, they actually lost track of them. So they didn't know where they was at in the world. They could have been spread whatever y'all gave.
Exactly.
Right. Well, one thing I say about it is I seen it personally. When I was in a juvenile facility at 17 years old, I was at a joint called the Nationals, and all you had to do was tell them you couldn't sleep, and they put everybody on this one pill. And the thing about it was nobody would take the pill at night. We would take it during the daytime. So if we had 12 people in our class, 10 of us would sleep. And they're still giving all the kids the meds, and they knew we was on off of it. So I believe that was an experience. Once I seen that, that's why I stopped taking them Jones. And then when I did time as an adult, and I even told you a story, John, you get people that come in there just trying to take pills to get high and all that, and before you know it, they become lab rats. They don't know how to talk. They come out slow juiced up, like, you know what I mean?
But see, I blame the old institutions, like the ones that closed down. You had Penhurst, you had Byberry, and these were mental institutions where they fucked up and did some fucked up shit to these patients. And now we got a mental health crisis now, and now those type of institutions aren't around because they messed it up in the past, because these folks, they actually need somewhere to go, but they need the actual proper treatment. But
so let me ask y'all this, right? Your dad or your uncle was one of them inmates that was experimented on, right? you about 15 or 16, somebody's talking about your dad, making fun of his features and something, and you smoked him. And you got life in jail, and now you find out that they was running experiments on your dad. Shouldn't you be eligible to like get out or something? You see what I'm saying? Like that's that. So what I'm saying is you don't get no money from it, but it's done. It could have done more harm than anything. So we apologize. Like to me, that definitely is not good enough.
That's not good enough.
You know what I mean?
After the apology, yo.
But what's your thoughts on it, people? The city of Philadelphia, they were running experiments on black inmates in the 50s all the way through the 70s. They recently apologized for it. Is that acceptable? Keep it a C note with us. Vito, your guy, Draymond Green. Video surfaced. He punched on his teammate. He's recently apologized. He stepped away from the team for a while. Keep it a C note. What's your thoughts on it?
I love it.
You love it? And what part do you love?
All of it. If you ain't acting right, you get punched down. They always talk about how soft this era is, but they don't never mention how back in the day they used to fight each other in practice all the time. You don't have to love your teammate, Kobe and Shaq.
Right.
Other dudes fought. Mike used to grind niggas up all the time. So at the end of the day, no, we don't know what's going on, and sometimes the person you fight winds up becoming your best friend. So you never know what can come from this. That might make them a better bond. They might play harder together. He might ride for him a little harder.
Okay.
At the end of the day, this shit happens all the time. Disregard the sports. People get punched in their mouth all the time.
Right.
So we're not going to highlight it just because it's sports.
Okay. What you got, John?
I mean, I disagree. I hate that shit.
Why do you hate it?
Like he shouldn't have did that to the young boy like that, bro. Like that's your fucking teammate. That ain't some nigga like off the street that just like robbed your mama or something like that. Like you didn't even give my man a chance to like square up. Like this is your teammate.
But for the record, though, Poole did push him first, right?
A push, all right. But there's a lot of pushing that goes on to the NBA.
So he was supposed to push him back? I'm just asking.
I mean, to that. He could have reacted, but it didn't have to go to like a knockout punch. He went straight Mike Tyson on that at that point. He didn't
like Poole, and that was the straw.
And it probably was.
Okay.
But I don't like that the videos was put out there because now I feel as though this bull is the next Chris Rock, basically that got on camera to get hit, and now he's going to be the butt of jokes.
Man, that shit is.
But I do know it's part of sports. And yeah, the fight is going to happen. I didn't like that it got put out there. Fuck you, TMZ.
Listen, Nick Robinson got knocked the fuck out on national.
Yeah, but he signed up for that. But what goes on behind teams practice, that should stay behind.
Shout out to that, John. I agree with that.
In the public, we shouldn't have known about that, and I'm mad that I got to find out about that shit because I knew how the internet was gonna run with that shit.
Who was in it that leaked it? Because you're right, it should have stayed in house.
Right. Well, for the record, just on a couple things that y'all just spoke on. First of all, Draymond said that he has been going through some personal things. It is speculation, though. Jordan Poole up for a contract extension. It is speculation that Draymond been hating on the young kid, don't want him to get his bag. I don't know if it got to do with taking away from Draymond bag. I don't know. But dumb are the speculations. I agree with y'all, Vito. Back in the day, we already know. I've heard Kwame Brown talk about stars, not stars, but old heads slapping dudes back in the day. The thing that's bad about it is when somebody leaked it. Now, I don't know because we do talk conspiracies. I don't know if this is a conspiracy so they can get Draymond out of there. Because that's the only way I can look at it. Like, why would anybody else leak the footage?
Trey Young said, he's like, Draymond trying to go to LA.
He trying to.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because that might be an experience for
and look,
get himself out of there.
Right, and I felt as though that was funny because all these years, and maybe I just wasn't paying Draymond Green no mind, but out of all these years he's been in the league, it's like all of a sudden this offseason he was real buddy with Bron. So when Trey said that, I seen that was funny. Another reason, not just was it wrong for the simple fact that they put it out there, but it's wrong like that because now you're going to have Everybody talking to Jordan Poole dirty. Nigga, I do you worse than him, this, that.
Exactly.
Not just that. Just think about how many times dudes is... Because we see these young pups, we seen them get aggressive with LeBron. So what about these next young pup that's going to be like, nigga, do that to me? And it's going to be all aggressive with Draymond. I just think that's too much. Draymond caused this confusion. Durant said that he left because of the way they handled the situation with him and Draymond. But Golden State wouldn't have had to handle that situation if Draymond wouldn't have been tweaking. I think it definitely is time for him to go. That's just my thoughts on it. Whether he go to L.A., you probably can't get nothing from L.A., but I think it's time for him to go.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If I was the GM or whatever of Golden State, Draymond, he would have had a fine. He would have been out off the team for a while. I'm sorry. I would have made that an example.
How does that benefit Golden State?
I think Golden State, they handle them affairs too lightly, bro.
Listen.
How does that benefit Golden State if you take one of the leaders off the team?
Ain't no real leader.
Listen, time out.
Everybody on that team and everybody outside the team says he's the leader.
Okay, let me ask y'all this, though, because take away that 1 year, the year after Durant got hurt because he didn't play like that in Brooklyn. But every year after that, if they got rid of Draymond and not Durant, if they would have handled that, got rid of Durant, probably would have stayed. Them dudes, even if Clay missed that second year when he retoured, son, they still could have won the check.
Yeah.
They still. So when you look at it from a ownership standpoint, I'm like, Draymond, you got to go.
But what you fail to realize is, even without Kevin Durant, they still won another chip.
Yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is they could have still been winning
but
chips.
Think about it. They still won another chip. And who's way cheaper? Draymond way cheaper than Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I understand. But I just still would have went with, I would have got rid of Durant years ago.
But listen, what happens if you get rid of Draymond and you know how Durant played? He could have got the fuck out of it on his own.
Yeah, but what made Durant feel some type of way with something Draymond did. So even if Golden State blew it out of proportion, didn't handle it the way they liked, the way Durant liked, if they would have got rid of Draymond, he might have still been cool. You see what I'm saying? It's like you handled it wrong and then you just hope that I stay. Like, nah, you feel though we handled it wrong, we gonna get rid of this joker. That's how I would have played it. What's your thoughts on it, though, people? Draymond punched on Jordan Poole. He's apologized. He's away from the team. Keep it a C-note. What's your thoughts on it?
Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, da, da.